Okay, here is an interesting three-way beer comparison for you. Hofbräu Dunkel, Opillia Dunkel from Ukraine, and Negra Modelo. When I saw this Ukrainian beer, I thought, wow. I didn't even know that they made Dunkels there, but of course they probably do, and they do. And here it is. So I saw it, I had to get it, and I had to include it in a comparison to see how it goes up against Hofbräu Dunkel and Negra Modelo. Both of these I like very much, Hofbräu and Negra. So we'll see if this Ukrainian beer, how it stacks up. Now I got some stats for each of these. These are all Dunkels. These are all Munich Dunkels or Bavarian Dunkels. At least that's what they claim to be. The Hofbräu is 5.5 ABV and the Negra Modelo is 5.4. Whereas this one, not sure what it is, but let's see, 4.8, I believe. 4.8, yeah, 4.8%. So Ukrainian Dunkel is the weakest one as far as alcohol goes. Now, I don't have calorie content for any of these, but each of them should be between 150 and 180 calories for 12 ounces. IBUs, I don't have that information either. On the beer advocate ratings, those are available. I'll have to look those up later. But we'll go get into some more of this later on. But anyway, I'm going to do this blindfolded and see which one I think tastes the best. Now, just because I think it tastes the best doesn't mean that you think it tastes the best. You might like something different. You and I might have completely different tastes or preferences. I mean, I like sweet things, but I make a conscious effort to not like it because I don't like sugar. I like the way it tastes, but it's poison. And sugar makes things sweet, so I avoid sweet foods just so I don't have a taste for sugar. I want to eliminate my taste for sugar. Now, I don't know which one's which, so I should be able to do this with my eyes open. And I don't think it's going to make a difference here, because I have no idea which one of these beers is which. Let's start on the end. It's got some sweetness to it, slight chocolatiness to it. Very smooth. The feel is smooth. It's got that dark coffee-ish flavor like most Dunkels do. Oh wow. This one is very similar to this, but in comparison, it tastes a little bit watery in comparison to this one. It also has that a chocolatey, coffee-ish type of flavor, the bitterness, but it's also sweet. This one's got a different flavor, slightly different. If I had to venture, I would say this is the Ukraine beer, the Opillia Dunkel. Just because it's so much different than these two. Well, it's not so much different, but you can definitely taste the difference. It's got a caramely flavor, kind of like candy in the finish. This one, I think this one's kind of on the weak side. This one's well balanced. It's got some slight hop bitterness, whereas I don't think I taste any hops on this one. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think there's much hop flavor on that one, or hop bitterness. This one with the unique flavor, well, that might be the malt flavor. I like this one the best. And well, there's something about that flavor that really sets this one apart, but not necessarily better. It's a matter of preference. I mean, if you know, how do I describe this taste? It's hard to describe. Like I said, it reminds me of caramel, caramel, however you pronounce it. I don't know. I just say caramel because that's what I've always said growing up. But you get older and you hear other people say it and they say caramel, whatever. This one has a candy type of flavor to it. Maybe kind of like a root beer sucker. Maybe that's the flavor that I'm thinking of, root beer. Yeah. This one tastes kind of like root beer. That's okay. It's sweet and bitter. Picking one. I like them all about the same, really. But which one would I drink the most of? That's the question. And that's might be how I figure out what I like more in a beer. So which one do I want to sit down and drink more of? Do I think I could drink a bunch of this? This root beer? Maybe with the right food. But just by itself, I don't think so. This one, it's kind of got a blandness to it. I wonder if that's the Negro Modelo that needs the lime in it to make it really good. So this is root beer. This is kind of sweet. This is a little bit more bitter. I think I like this one the most. Now, between these two, if I had to choose between these two, it would be a difficult choice. Because this one is kind of bland, kind of waterish tasting or feel to it. And this one's got that root beerish or caramel candy flavor. Now let's take a look at what I printed out here regarding these flavors. Okay, the Opillia Dunkel, moderate hop bitterness, exact, okay, that's not it, that's not what I'm looking for, hop flavor here. Moderate hop bitterness, complementing the caramel malt profile. Doesn't tell me a lot. Expressive caramel flavor with a classic dark ruby appearance. Well, they all have classic dark ruby appearance, but it does mention a caramel flavor. This is probably the Opillia. Let's see what it says about the Negro Modelo, which I think is this one. Hop flavor, minimal hop flavor. Yeah, I don't taste much hops in there. Focus more on malt characteristics. Yeah, caramel malt sweetness with a hint of roasted flavors. Well, they all kind of have roasted flavors. Let's see what the Hofbräu Dunkel says. Subtle hop presence. A lot of malt flavors that dominate. Rich maltiness with notes of caramel and toasted bread. Toasted bread. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm taking this one as my number one. And it is the Hofbräu Dunkel. Okay, not surprising. Hofbräu Dunkel comes out on top. Now, let's see what this one is. I think that's this one. Yeah, so this is a Modelo here. So I guessed them all correctly. And I prefer this one. Hofbräu Dunkel wins. Now, what about these two? It's like I said, it's a trade-off kind of. If you want a root beerish type flavor, you go for this. Candyish caramel flavor, yeah, that one's got it. This one, it's just sweet, not a lot of hop flavor, but it's good. It's drinkable. I always get Negro Modelo whenever I go to a Mexican restaurant. And if I would go out to a bar and get a beer and they had this, most bars don't have this. But if they had it, I'd probably get it. Because it's better than Budweiser and Miller and Coors and all that stuff. Usually when I go to a bar, if I get a lager, it's going to be Stella. Because the lagers that they have there are Stella, Budweiser, or Bud Light, or Miller Lite. Nobody has Coors around here. At least not in the bars. Very few. I haven't seen it. But the lagers they do have that aren't craft lagers, I get Stella. Because Stella is better than any of the adjunct lagers. It's Belgian. But it's, a lot of people don't think it's got a great, a lot of people don't like it mainly because it's owned by Anheuser-Busch, InBev. And people hate big beer. Well, beer snobs hate big beer. But this is different. It even kind of smells like root beer. It kind of smells like caramel or caramel candy. It's interesting. If you want a root beer beer, this is what you want to get. Different, quite different. So which one is best between these two? It's difficult to say. Because it's really, they're quite a bit different. So it depends on your taste. If you like root beer flavor, if you like caramel candy, now it's not necessarily sweet, but it still has that caramel candy taste or feel or flavor to it, but without excessive sweetness that the caramel candy might have. Whereas this one, there's very little bitterness or hop flavor to it. But it's still good. The lime is what really makes this good. So I would think, I don't know, if I would want to drink more of these or more of them. Because I think that maybe after a while I'd kind of get tired of that root beer taste. Whereas I don't think I get tired of Negro Modelo. I could drink that all day and not get tired of it. But I think I would get tired of the Opillia. So I'm going to go with Negro Modelo. So I'm going to rank them 1, 2, 3. But as I said, your preferences may vary. And for me, that's what I would do. Because Hofbräu Dunkel, it's good. I could drink it all day. I could drink Negro Modelo all day, but I'm not sure that I could drink an Opillia all day. Because of that root beerish or that caramel candy flavor that it has to it, I think that it would kind of, I think I'd kind of get tired of it after a while. But who knows, if I drink enough even of these other two, I might get tired of them too. But I've never really sat down and drank a bunch of Dunkels right after another. I think the most I've ever did was drank a liter of it, which is about 3 of these. A liter is 3 of these. And when you go to Germany and you get a Dunkel and a Maßkrug, you drink the whole thing and you're ready for another one. So I guess I probably could drink this quite a bit because I did have liters of this in Germany. Or German restaurants, I can't remember. German restaurants in the USA, that is. Now, Negro Modelo, when I go to a Mexican restaurant and they have it on tap, I ask for a Negro Modelo. They pour it on a tap. They ask me if I want a smaller or big one. I say big. The big one is, let's see, I think it's 24 ounces maybe. It's more than 16, so it might be 24. But I can drink a couple of them with my meal. There's no problem. Especially with the lime in it. Well, that's it for this one. Hofbräu comes out on top. All right. I always feel a little bit tipsy after some of these comparisons because I drink a bunch of beer rather quickly. So the carbonation builds comes out and start burping. So anyway, that's it for this comparison. Hofbräu, one of the best beer makers in the world, in my opinion. One of the best. Maybe not the best. I don't know. But it's good.